A few days ago, as of the time I am writing this, my good friend and proofreader, hey Chris, recently said that good character writing doesn't require a lot of dialogue, a sentiment that I most certainly agree with. While it certainly helps a lot to have good dialogue, a skilled writer, actor, or artist could convey much of a character's feelings and personality with very little dialogue, or even no dialogue at all. For me, no character has embodied this sort of brilliance in writing more than the titular main character of Gris. There is a lot left ambiguous as to Gris's past. We know that the game focuses on her overcoming grief with a journey through her mind, but her exact cause for this grieving is never specified. While it does make a comprehensive analysis a bit trickier, this is absolutely genius in order to make Gris's character understandable. That may sound paradoxical since we are not aware of her exact plight, but by not knowing what is causing her to feel so lost and defeated, what we focus on most is the very fact that she is lost and defeated. Not everyone can relate to a plot point about a parent's passing, but everyone can relate to feeling so overwhelmed by grief that life comes to a standstill. Of course, this ambiguity would be for nothing if the game did not properly portray Gris's sorrow, but fortunately it did wonders. Even at the very start of the game, as she begins singing a soft and sorrowful song in the statuesque hand of a woman, her singing eventually stops as she clutches at her throat and the statue crumbles, sending her falling into a deep abyss. To be frank, this cutscene alone is enough to make me really like Gris, both the game and the character. But the game went above and beyond to show Gris's suffering, and more importantly, how she began to live with it. Gris's emotional journey is based very heavily upon the 5 stages of grief, so much so that each of the 5 levels, so to speak, have secret achievements based on performing actions reflecting the corresponding stages. Whether it be Gris turning back at the very start of the game as a symbol of denial, destroying more statues of the same woman's likeness for anger, or going off the beaten path to discover a secret alcove at the bottom of the ocean containing yet another statue of a woman falling, for depression. Over the course of the game, the colors that Gris allows herself to see also reflects this. While initially allowing no color into this world of her own making at the start as a sign of her denial of her dark new reality, more and more colors are added as she begins to feel more and more emotions. Red for her anger, green for her bargaining, blue for her depression, and yellow for her acceptance. What's more is that none of these colors ever go away. Gris doesn't simply stop feeling anger when she begins bargaining. All of the colors come together to paint the game's beautiful world, as Gris feels more and more about her grief. Finally, Gris gains more and more abilities in the game to tie into these feelings, such as a steady crushing rock form, or the ability to fly but only with the assistance of nearby butterflies. Of course, each ability ties into the stages of grief as well, all culminating in Gris regaining her ability to sing by the time she has reached acceptance. All of that aside, you may have noticed how often a statue of a woman was present in this analysis. This is quite clearly a symbol of her suffering, but my own personal interpretation is that Gris recently experienced the traumatic death of her mother. The statues of a woman following her throughout the game add to this idea, showing that she cannot stop thinking about this woman no matter what she feels. I reiterate that this is my own personal interpretation, and I encourage anyone playing this game to make their own interpretation. But going into the finale with this in mind, Gris's final moment of embracing the statue was enough to make me think of how painful such an experience would be, and be thankful I still have not just my mother, but so many other loved ones in my life. And yes, it made me cry.